There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. You'll ever, never, ever, never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. You got it, sweet brother. Nothing upon nothing upon nothing. I know you do, baby. I know. Coming right up, sir. Smooth passage. Alright, nothing town to fuck all borough. Great choice, Elder One. It has always been like this, and it always will. The song of death is sweet and endless. But what is this? Somewhere in the sore, bloated man-meat around you. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting, longing, dancing to disco music.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? You should check yourself for a pulse, superstar. From here it looks like a cadaverous spasm. You find no sign of life on your swollen neck. However, putting your hand on your chest reveals an irregular heartbeat. You appear to be alive, for now. This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to read. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off. It's just a little hangover-induced photosensitivity. Don't overreact. Little black spots dance on your retinas. It's almost pleasurable. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The fan stands still. You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door. The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a like the green shoe that's on the hat rack in the corner, which, coincidentally, is missing its friend. Congratulations, you smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you can still find the other on the balcony outside. A cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold. The window stands broken. The morning light hurts. The morning light.
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28.
No.
The young woman shakes her head slowly.
No. You're a police officer, sir. I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time. You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less. Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking. Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer. Could it be because of the drinking?
She hasn't had time to put her makeup on. This is her morning cigarette. She looks tired, her beauty waning faster than it ought to at her age.
Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
Something stirs in you as she's about to go. Call it an instinct, a need. The need to ask questions. It's like you've said the words a million times before. She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
Yes. The dock workers are pretty cocky. They think they're police enough. At least here on the coast. I can't say about the rest of the city. You're in a hostel, sir. We are in Revachol. You sure look like you're from Revachol. Revachol parties. It's 51. The current century? Centuries don't have numbers, they have names. And this is the current one. Civilization has existed for 8,000 years, sir. Yeah? There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I couldn't say. It's impossible to hear people speaking from over here. Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestration prime among them. Oh, were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course. Like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on. I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped, and there was a change of pace. A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of the time, you were yelling along to it. Yes, there was a church in there, a really small church, like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that. And also, that it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a winded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. Yes, it was very cool. Then you started screaming and trashed the place. A window was smashed. The tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable.
Sounds like you were in some real fundamental pain there, muscle man.
I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then, around 4 or 5. And that was it. Glad to have been of assistance.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it. The living shit. Your mesolimbic reward pathway does not mince words. It once smokes. Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously. How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Good. Thinking about yummy and when you're done, think. Plus, smoking then gives massive. The door is closed. You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast oceanic soul. Exactly. It's measured, level-headed, and it needs to be heard. Through a PA system. By other people. Whether they like it or not. Ram it up their ears, says your adrenaline gland. Violently express yourself. You should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found. Thought it was obvious. Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic small church song. Who's laughing now? No one. You would need another copy of the tape first, though. The one upstairs is destroyed. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters. Looks like the bird was ripped off. A small engraved steel tag says, "The Great Skua."
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead. A competent work. Looks like a small engraved...
Look, your buddy is... Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you.
No, I'm not the...
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touch.
That period of my life is over. Not everyone who stands behind a counter is a... I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar. She just, you know...
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand. On the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic white...
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name.
Okay then. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know the players. You don't do that? Right. And the interviews? Good. But even if you haven't, we'll have time for that after we take a look. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? Does that mean the body is no longer in the tree? Sure. But did you take it down? So, the body...
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight.
What a shame. Get to it now. Rip that body down from the tree.
I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby.
A painkiller would be good about now. The best cure for a headache is, of course, morphine.
Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take the body down. After it's been up in a tree for that long.
Delicate goods, filled with stinking horrors.
I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the Citizens Militia on your... I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. Yes. They are not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark. I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage. But again, it's none of my concern. You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible. We all feel that way sometimes. There is no such thing as a police officer, I'm afraid. But first, we have to... After you, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party.
The man with the
Mr. Gart, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation.
What? I have no idea what that means. What is this, a joke to you? Is this what you get when you call the police now? This guy? We've been...
Sir, I understand your concern, but we are here to do it.
Yes, of course.
I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene.
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called...
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
This sounds like something you can...
You said you just got here.
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock.
But you still know your way around.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here.
I didn't imply that. Detective. I have everything. You?
Yes, he means, do you have questions for me, like a police officer would? She went away because none of your business. Oh my God, what is your obsession with this Sylvie person? I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
Suddenly you tense up. Blood is being pushed to your muscles. You should hound him on this. Hound him hard, the prey drive says.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I don't appreciate this. What is this? Do I have to answer him? Is this mandatory?
The lieutenant stands motionless, his expression unreadable.
What are you, an idiot? I told you I haven't killed anyone.
He ignores you. More. Press on. Push through.
Fuck you, man.
That's enough.
That's a real pity. Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then, to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
One moment you're running like the wind. Then you've suddenly turned around and are giving him the finger, furiously, with both hands. Why? That's true, yes, and it's worrying. But let's not fixate on it.
Watch out!
Everything goes dark.
Back so soon. Those are mysteries of the spinal cord. The spinal cord has yet to reveal itself to you. If it comes off like that, it's because it is. And you are. I was wrong to let you go. I should have kept you here. Is it bright where you are? Is it terrifying? Have you felt the love?
That is too bad. We all need a little love. Are you okay?
No, you have sustained a trauma to your lower neck. In addition, you have strained your left trapezius muscle. Pain surges down your back when you...
The chair took the brunt of it. Don't worry.
Are you sure, ma'am?
Yes. Check on him.
Sir, I didn't mean for this to happen. I'm sorry. This has always been a cop-friendly place. the drinks are on the house, okay? There were a lot of drinks on the tab. I still have to charge you for 3 nights and the broken window.
With your back against the cold mosaic floor, you feel the pain recede. You just need to get up and dust yourself off.
Not entirely cool. You still owe me 100 real. If you and for God's sake, watch out for yourself.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. Why did you say that?
No. But isn't that an expression, not a place? A saying, up on Marvel Hill, a great high place, one that is impossible to climb back to.
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta. This button looks new, but
Huh, this button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
you see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. No, these tracks are not interesting at all. Let the street sweeper just sweep them away. Hard to say. Your vision is blurred and you're having difficulty concentrate. Cop habit. You look at everything. There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails, all over the... An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material because there's a secret door hidden behind the panel. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
Be still, my beating heart. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detect. See that ladder there? It's probably an...
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. When the wind ruffles the cloak, you can most definitely see a white rectangle on its back.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the air. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane tower. That machine is a Kvalsund 1020 HK.
Is it? Kvalsund makes a lot of heavy equipment, but I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here. What are we doing? We're awfully... Or it could be that we had just the cloak? Well, it doesn't seem...
Kuno's got this.
Oh yeah, Nappa Gumpy, Kuno! Right in the dick, Kuno!
It's loving in the dick.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching. The kid is obviously high.
Fuck that! The rake, Kuno! He should throw
The fuck does...
Goddamn right he's not a gardener. He's an athlete. Every rock connects, making the battered corpse look...
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me...
The kid moves his hands like a basketball.
Shitload pig. What you...
Don't tell the pig
This is where you quickly ask him.
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno...
He could have just said he doesn't know.
Kuno knows shit. Probably climbed. You heard Kuno. Kuno... I don't know. Mesco... Kuno gives this info out. Just a couple of pigs.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty!
Your test...
Get lost,
The fuck about it? Your test...
Get lost,
Right, pig. This is where Kuno... No, it's not fucking...
He thinks you're fucking fool, Kuno!
Get the fuck out. Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there. Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Look it up in the library. Kuno's not a fucking dick. Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just... Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give... Yeah? Yeah, whatever. Kuno's Kuno...
Kuno. Primal.
Yeah? Think about it.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his... Help! Pig's got Kuno!
Help! He's got the Kuno...
Everyone can hear. You need to get the hell out of here before.
Help! He's digging his...
Escalate, Kuno!
Pigs in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
Look at his shit-eating grin. He knows there's nothing you can do to him. He's bullying you, and you are helpless. Kill him. Kill him now.
Help! Misters, help!
Rolling super hard.
He's flashing Kuno! He's show... No one? Kuno's doing this.
This is where Kuno is
Help! The pig's gagging him! Kuno can't speak!
Thump. The blow connects. Surprise. Kuno feels it.
Officer, this is very far from normal police conduct.
Okay, pig. Kuno knows to respect that violent shit. You should see...
The creature behind the fence has...
Okay, pig. Talk to Kuno. We're back in this shit. The fuck do you want? You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was... Shit. Get the fuck...
He can't do that!
Pigs can't displace. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right? Is it? You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all that. Don't sweat it, drunk pig.
He's saying you climbed up there. That explains the calluses on your hands. You scaled the side of...
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Yeah, Kuno plays on Snuff Radio. That's where Kuno gets his...
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you?
It's a vitamin pig. Don't you know any... Yeah, it's the mag...
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno!
You're not getting this pig.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag!
Of course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the Docky boys his gimps? Just gotta... Not everyone can fly like Kuno.
That's all there is to it then.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk. The fuck do you want? Good call, Pigmeister. You're dreaming, pig.
A little.
Don't let him dominate you, Kuno! Fuck his fat ass!
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Hear that? Magnesium. The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium levels. Yeah, the other things. Long-lived, yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. Maggot sideways. One stroke. Don't be so modest. Yes, if you want to live, you need to just remember. And it's certain nor smoking for 40. This trash container is locked. The body is downwind from here. The body is downwind from...
We could try using a pry bar.
Did someone say pry bar? Pry bar, pry bar. Your palms yearn. It's...
We might want to ask for a key from the manager.
Ask the manager?
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close. Looks like it's time for me to...
She means it. The fair is...
I'm going away for a long...
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
You don't want to fuck with me.
You can still see the top of her.
I'll die before I come from the woods.
Don't be trying...
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps. The smell is repulsive. It... Too late. It's impossible to keep until a pool of vomit The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. There is Frit nearby, east of the hostel. They usually have a small... There's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a...
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry...
Active decay.
He's about to blow. Cop's gonna blow, Kuno.
This Post Lavatorie mail collect. A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk Number. The box seems happy. Eat shit, pig. Fucked by the coon. And the mail collection box seems and then suddenly, you...
The RCM in Martinez. We don't see a lot of police around. Of course. What can I help you with? Sure. I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. Of course. What do you mean? Yes, sir. District of...
He knows where we are. He just wants that.
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment, the harbor gates, some shops and a bridge. They can just coast.
Rows of stalls under a broad roof, where silvery fish were heaped.
I don't know. It's just water. No problem.
She's very welcome.
Of course.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the autopsy.
Sure. Keep them.
Really? There he still is, looking right through you with his white eye. The ammonia only makes it worse. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Are you okay, officer? You're facing tough odds here.
What is happening to you? Heard the coach. This is weakness. It cannot go on much longer, or you will lose.
I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never, then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there. I think I've lost my sense of smell. Not being hungover helps too. An appropriate attitude. You need to get your shit together. No, it's not, officer. Then the world will turn away. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet and internalize it for special bonuses and effects.
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go. Active decay.
He's about to blow!
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work, maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots. 1, standard work boot, steel reinforced toes. 2, standard work boot. 3, hobnailed. 4, standard work boot. Number 45, or you don't know. It's a miracle. 5, another step. 6, an aberration. Impossible to tell. Could also, you're not bad. It's as if the whole. 7, the glowing outline. 8, and yet another.
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor? Or maybe a drummer? No, it's not. Forget I said it. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
He doesn't seem to hear you. Looking south.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. A woman or a kid? Okay. How do you know?
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
That's okay. Go on. 200? Could it be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be-dead man.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes. A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing.
Correct again.
A woman? Or okay.
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
Understood. Anything else? What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. What then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle.
Indeed, they all stood in a row here, and you see a set of tire tracks in the brown.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little.
A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words. That is a book. Board games are like little games on my pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is... Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character.
There is stress and unease behind these.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the...
Yes, please do look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games you asked about are also there, sir.
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better with no such thing.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir? Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't... Maybe I can tell you about some of... Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that. And the work of a policeman. And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. What's that mean? And everything's better now, sir? That's great, sir. Head, yes.
No, your resilience. No, your mind.
No, he's wicked smart in the stories. Like you, sir, of course. Maybe you can show me some real police work. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if it happens, but usually those are unhappy books. That's really not a proper not in romance. I haven't read many of those. I don't think it's a romance story if the main character...
You can take this. Blossom, the girl, is at a loss for what she shifts and sways on her...
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to help you. Sir, sorry, sir. Maybe some about other books? Oh, kings and queens and generals of old. Well, I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame. I don't know about that, but
They're all dogs.
Why would they do that, sir? That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything, standing over a dead body.
The girl keeps her hands folded.
What do you mean, sir?
She looks around, anxious. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. She brings out her reddened hands.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't. It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not.
I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She's...
Oh, kings and... I think that's why people...
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash for... What are you? Deaf? They're perfect. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. With a sudden flash, the volumetric shit compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's a small mountain of colorful board game boxes, an endless variety of sorts. There's also a large hardback. There's a box that says, Wirral, 3rd edition mega setting. Nonsense for anemic Beano-clads.
Wonderful board games, sir. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. Then you're a lucky man, officer. Sure. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerain. Lousy auras there. No, I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks.
Oh, Man from Hjelmdal. A very popular blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives. What does it matter? They're all the same. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend
Rows and rows of Hjelmdalamen, maybe 100. Those snow crabs are worse than they sound. Not even close. Man from Hjelmdal in hell. Man from Hjelmdal and the forest of slaves. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your hand reaches toward a book between the throne and the Hjelmdalam, especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of You see a set of tattered...
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from, aside from poking at it, suspicious. Just as you're about to pull up...
Sir, don't touch that. I told you, parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide...
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy...
No! Please just talk to me off...
Lies. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you.
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel...
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from... You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and...
I warned you. You're unleashing forces...
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you. What if you just break it down? That's right. Take in your surroundings. Steady breathing. The room is dimly lit. It's made of a solid block of wood. Only an echo. No, a hollowed out dark echo. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin. It's pretty clear you may be what they call a big dick cop. Good, they're balanced, comfy.
What is this place? Yes, but no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanation.
A barbell lies at 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of...
It's dark. This would be a lot. I've got one in the Kinema's toolbox. We should go back for it.
Some areas are inaccessible without your flashlight.
These shelves are overburdened. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the...
Oh, crime, robberies, murders. You're a police officer.
Sex crimes did pique your interest. Crime fiction. These books great. Furthermore, they have no... What's more, they complete not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the off. You see, a killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the... Yes. There's tragedy calls. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Your attempt to grasp at the answer. Magnesium-based life form. We tell them, hell no. You're about to become a magnesium-based life form. The age of the primitive carbon man is done. The plaque on the shelf reads,
I would say The Greatest Innocence. Yes, a very influential historical figure. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of, perhaps for a layman, certainly, it's prudent for a...
You feel like you should get this one. Definite. Browsing through all... Suddenly, a particular high-speed love. Next to Irv's life story. Next to that, Rivasholian rape.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. I'm sorry, I did not mean to...
Several maps have been attached. The maps look old and faded. This large map displays archipelagos. You see Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alam. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, radiating outwards from you. The suzerain River. You can, on Caillou, The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of coastline connections to other worlds. Words past the insel. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars. Gods. Perhaps they are gods. The north coast of a verdant island is to the east, rolling hills. Huron. It's somewhere to live. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. No, this is somewhere to... It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. Still, it's detailed.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing. It's an out-of-date map from when some design studio people tried. They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Always good to be informed of your...
You've acquired an interactive...
This bookstore is not strictly about...
Sir, I can't have you end up, like, open...
Amidst the various books, the point of the book, and it serves platitudes, while also to wholeness. When it's up to your mind to hear, it's your own fault if you're... The book features chapters on topics such as... There's even a chapter...
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. I suppose it's all over now. Just a door? This place is cursed, Detective. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything.
Host Almighty, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the...
Of course you didn't. You're all right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the...
Her facade has dropped.
But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? Yes, the malignant entity that lives inside the chimney. It takes the shape of... No, this chimney is part of the building's central furnace. And some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. Okay, but please, only a few questions. You would... The curse is so much worse. It's the curse of financial distress. Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later... There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. It's not good to talk about the curse, not...
Such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy.
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies... Oh, this? No, it's a special hymn. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the... Yes, the Simonees are very crafty.
The woman before you scanned...
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. Mind you're in business, sir. In our society, you must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Good sir. What does a young child do with Indeed. Are we done with it?
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Right.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then...
Goodness, you were already doing good. Browsing. Everything is on the shelves. Take a look.
She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to...
Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of... But you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories. The truth is available if you just know where to look. And you have...
She smiles and nods, seemingly... That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching our syrupy and attaboy. It's coming back to him. You had your mesolimbic reward pathway worried there. Forget about the bar. Or don't forget about it. You calmly, the lieutenant looks out of the window.
What are you doing? We should move.
A real drink would go well with. A colourful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine.
No idea. Looks like he works for, possibly because there's a strike going on.
The man does not mind.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait.
It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. Your fingers find their way into the shackle. The man emits a loud snore. Are you positive that what you're doing here is proper police conduct? You can still leave and do nothing. You slip the plastic ID card out of the loop and pocket it. The man continues. You find a black paper note with a woman's profile on it. Seems yum yum. Money. Think of, no, he's looking the other. The sleeping dock worker has, you're not 100% clear what you did here.
Yes? What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report about it. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between them. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The Dock Workers Union is the de facto police in Martinez. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. You mean like a brief? There's no reason to. 3 days ago, during that time, the victim had a security guard or worker of some sort, hired by well. They didn't identify them. There's a strong prejudice against involved. That's right. Good.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of. Your finger moves through the various streets, finally coming to a halt on.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and
There he still is, looking right through you. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run. And
They do after 7 days, yes.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee, delicate and fragile. They feel
They're armor, no boots. Technically speaking, these ceramic plate, zirconium under the heel. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing
a small bell-like sound. Suddenly your biceps coil up. Your elbow is sharp and cocked for a punch. Your fist connects to the boot. The only difference is a barely audible.
Did you hear that? A click. This is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads the incoming energy horizontally.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate in
Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these pieces.
If you wear those pieces, it will help me protect your mortal coil. Yes, bullets will fly. They always...
No, he must have worn something precious underneath his clothes. They've removed all his clothes. They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre.
Fucking talking about underpants.
It is. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. For a full set, about 4 years of wages. By catching, do you mean let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them? Mm-hmm. It means disciplinary hearing.
The lieutenant nods often.
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard. Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you know. Your first instinct was correct.
The stench fills your nostrils.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
You're about to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
Yes, that's what I said. You'll compromise. What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot? You do understand the boots are steeped in cadaverine odor, don't you? There's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body.
You're sure there's a way to peel them off. But first, the body needs to be down. And second, it would the anticipation makes you crack your fingers.
Processing will take care of them. With
the cadaver slowly, an intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso.
I have only a cursive knowledge of the science of cybernetics.
It doesn't seem familiar from the insides of any radio computer.
So am I.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it.
A Trigger Sunshine Mini.
Shit,
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the
in case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only 1 ampoule left.
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. Sure, just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse. The hangman's knot is pulled tight. Oh my, there's something on the belt. Vermilion, in yellow letters, along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for vermilion.
Extremely. Industrial strength. The kind used for tying cargo to lorry. Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves. It's not merely polyester. It's steel reinforced. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed. A noose is one of those things that's easy. I think they lassoed the branch. Then, I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. 70% of the cases I get are...
The cadaver hangs from his eyes are milky white. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready.
I'm gone. Into the wild pale yonder. In the past. I'm a joke. Look at me. There is nothing funny about jokes. I'm a killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
Takes one to know one.
Go ahead, cop. What do you mean? It's the power of your imagination. Go ahead, because you're a copperoonie. Coming right up. Copperoonie, Rooney. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. Between you and me, your name is probably... You can be anything you want, because you have loved it, me and Provocopo. Sure, Lobo. Looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes, standing here,
Something is on its way. Something hidden.
Do I remind you of someone? There you go. Look at that, bro.
Feeling nausea?
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my...
As you narrow your eyes, only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. The cadaver slowly twists. As you narrow, only the lower...
How should I know why you are squinting, officer? Oh.
The monster comes back in...
So, what do you think? I do. Most of them are
Stop talking.
It means you fucked him up good, Kuno!
I think he was upright immediately. The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with the hanging. There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if there are...
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling...
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt.
Of course. You have questions, don't come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it. Climb up there and saw the branch? I don't trust that ladder. The assailants didn't use it. Honestly, I prefer a non-acrobatic solution to this. Clown cops climb tree, fall down. In cretin cop, they like that word. So
Fuck yeah, climb!
See, you're only making them do those things less.
no, I do not see the future. I made those up using 2 decades in the Revacholian police force as a reference point. What I'm proposing is, we save acrobatic...
Oh, these have got to be the most fuck...
Someone else? You mean like... the police? Someone like a paid garbage man? Or a cleaning crew? I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We are not getting him down already. Not getting him down is a task that's...
Just pull his rotten head off.
It's tempting, but decapitating him...
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't...
This trash container, just a trash... Your fingers start to... You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that... Before you stands a motor carrier. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers. A scent of leatherwork and heavy fuel oils washes over you. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. It's robust. Lets you see thick. The pry bar feels cold and heavy. Useful for opening. The handles are long. You can do good. The pull-out toolbox slides back. The frequency tableau, like the soft purr of electrical kitten.
This is Precinct 57. Hello.
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the...
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably...
This is Officer Alice Demet.
Under the green prime line, a yellow saved button catches your eye. You wonder what the lieutenant's default radio station is.
Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5, this is 41st, 10-4, what's your status? Over. 10-18, 10-20, over. State your message, sir. Over. 10-4, I hear you.
Is it him? What does he want?
He says he needs money.
Don't give that asshole anything.
Right. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says he's in trouble.
Well, I guess he'd better crack the case.
Vicmar said... He says it's important to the case.
He isn't getting...
Request denied, sir.
Nothing is working.
Listen.
What is he saying?
Did you want anything else, sir?
What? I thought you had your shit together. This is nearing a
He terminated the connection. I guess he was...
The radio falls silent and...
What was that? It's okay, Detective. We should get on with our tasks.
This is Precinct 57. Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. 10-4, your badge should have most of your personal details. Look over that. Over. 10-9, repeat message. Over. 10-4, message received.
10-22, the captain.
Any other good news?
He's saying he lost his...
He what?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
He says this has probably happened to other...
Oh, goddamn it. Is he
Satellite Officer Vicmar is wondering if you might be joking and add...
Mullen dicked us.
He's asking you to stop.
Of course it's serious.
Satellite Officer Vicmar concurs, losing your badge. 10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your...
Fuck me! Mac, come here!
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost...
He lost his what? His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
He asks you to please stop.
Why? Did he find...
Sergeant Person was wondering if...
You don't have a comeback. Sorry.
He's not replying. Looks like 10-9, come again.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him.
Sergeant Person wants to know if...
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. Okay, it's...
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over. 10-1, you're breaking up. 10-9, come in, officer. Come in, officer. 10-9, repeat message, please. Did you misplace your firearm? Over.
The silence is almost deafening.
That did not go well. Did we need anything else here?
The white suede feels... Your fingers waste no time closing around the handle. You feel an uninterrupted connection to the mechanic. After a while, you realize silence. Of course it's only in your head. The smell of freshly treated... I'm good. Cherished at the bottom of the sea. So strange. The handle is pulled back. In the cabin, you see as you tap on the gauge,
There's no use pressing the heat.
Alternative translation.
This is the Caprice Kinema, my motor carriage. No, I'm afraid not. We have a murder case on our hands. A motorized vehicle, officer. The Caprice motorcar does...
But this is different. This is a...
You're right. I didn't take you for a motorcar enthusiast. Do you also like Tip Top, Detective? An interstellary racing series.
In the cabin. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard. Some of the writing has faded with age. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of Welkins. You make out autumnal candle Welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent Welkins, with organs shining under their skin. One of the Welkins towering among the rest. It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Political commentary. Just look at those details.
The photo collage depicts entire oceans have been frozen from, albeit dark and cold. This vision also feels a pinned postcard read. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. It looks a bit like an academic calendar. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left, the handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out. The full text reads, "Heat death outside." This old fireplace is covered in light radio frequencies, it seems. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations. All lead back to what looks like a surveillance. They must have had massive airwidth. Someone very important, the leader of a massive on-air, whoever decides to call it, a list of names under the station.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambition. Exactly. This schedule, I know do.
Nothing. It's just... This appears to be some kind of machine with
a radio computer. Just sitting here without it.
What he means is that these things... This is the Ream Civic radio computer.
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric, and it's empty like a beehive. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside, like a smooth drawer. The filament slides into place. A bar of fabric, right? Oh no. It was already... The static gets louder. Slow.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en route. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader? Yes. Is that the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. No. Still no. I am contractually obliged to protect the...
I'm afraid we are not doing that.
Now, can you received?
That sounds bad. Don't worry.
Fortress accident? Is there any fortress accident? Is that one moment? Fortress accident SCA produces revolution. Any other questions? Yes,
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the... As for me, well...
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and...
Now, please, thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Nothing happens. The filament slides... You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange... This ice bear is a hyper-carnivore. The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to... The lieutenant takes a peek inside.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrap. You pocket the note and the little fridge back. A friendly cartoon. The paper still smells.
Good question. It looks... I know. What is even worse, the bear is still...
The fridge buzzes. A few bricks have fallen off. revealing a compartment behind.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging, most of them are rusty and inoperable.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still beautiful. Seems like an old bunker. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around.
He likes this find. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you died.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? No, that's not it. I think...
Like he's ready to lay out a fine thing.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it. Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can part. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns, coordinating so many games.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games, but I don't think anyone has it. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks no idea. They stopped feeling. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but it's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving.
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. A thick layer of coal dust covers.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central. No one has used it in ages.
It's dark and grimy here. The echo is so prominent. It's impossible.
What are you doing? Wait, really? You should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
A lush layer of coal. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Still, it's good to have.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected.
Then what was the chatter you heard? A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts. Something breaks loose.
Hello?
And it's a woman. Of course. The malicious entities are always...
Hello? Did you say anything?
You hear a low rumble upstairs.
After you, officer.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. It's dark and the echo is so...
What are you doing? Wait, really? You're right.
Then what was the chatter you heard? Both cables are unplugged. Somewhere, a machine hums along.
Yes?
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening. So what kind of die are you looking for? Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing...
As she speaks, her bone-like finger role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use. How did I become one? It was a business. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me, not especially. I like working with rare material. Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. Ah, yes. Fortress Accident. The Wiro Untethered die is a variation of a standard rope. I'm thinking something made from alligator jawbone, cast in black resin. The reptile bone is as white as ice and dead as... It's an icositetrahedron. A 24-sided, untreated bone is porous and prone to chipping. Great. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else? Nothing really.
The lieutenant looks.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard.
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the... Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's back. During daytime, there are usually those kids, but I never saw any. I might have, but in this case, all I would have... It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's an odd profession. Making dice...
She nods.
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I...
Creative. When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else.
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the Whirling in Rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice.
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
What, so the curse only affects people with poor...
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity.
Is it now? I've always... Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, let me know. More or less. Are you interested in it?
Rats scuttle in the dark rooms, under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio.
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime. A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some... Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh yes, you mean the kid with the... I think it would take more than a gym to help that. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse.
You should have known it.
Eventually, the coalition took away the fund. Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar.
You wouldn't like it either. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet. Oh, this one's a mess. Turns out, the business was actually set up and they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it. It's a Sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts...
What does she mean?
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals...
Good luck with that. It's not... You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxi...
But what drugs exactly?
He got high on some weird taxidermy chemical.
Even you can probably do...
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. The atelier produced a certain collection that used, and you know how all kinds of and, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in Kyton from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. Really? They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula, or Tumotiri, or Hashtkor, or what, the usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new...
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. I have no idea why those kids...
Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No.
Fortress Accident, the radio games, they were an interesting bunch. We talked about, they certainly took their work very seriously. The usual, they ran out of... Well, I did hear them talking. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some ground. Yes, but when the money started to run out, in the end they just didn't get it done.
Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult.
Still, not everyone is going to make it.
The result is...
Anything else? Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. Of course not. The bell was terrifying. No one wants ice cream. Eventually, Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece. You did what? Really? You broke it? What a shame. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast.
Scary, but cool.
Megatherion. It's an imaginary by telling you to...
A wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved with drugs.
Very good. You shouldn't do that. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice.
Little sparkling ember outside its light. Lights.
Anything else? Another failed... Oh, right. I hope you... I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still... That's right. I haven't even written my name there. Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure. That's right. That's right. Sure, I'm good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock. You stick the pry bar into the fissure beneath the lid and push down. It doesn't take much Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Just the feeling. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for...
You see, milk? You've done this before. The movements are... No. Searching. A box falls into pieces in your hand. Among the threadbare as the legs of the slime...
The victim's clothes? Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pocket. The belt is missing. That's it. There is...
Something slimy catches your... A drab, long-sleeved shirt.
This is a military-type overgarment.
The rest of the rags are just...
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or...
The fuck's he on about, kids?
See? Not really.
The lieutenant nodded. It's just organic waste. What's this? A blue piece of plastic. Something larger. A clipboard.
Officer, is that your... Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the art... If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? What are you talking about? Doeth thou also thorough inventories? You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official note. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see.
Some items, such as the ledger you found.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction, only in its...
Mm-hmm.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list.
The note is written with a blue...
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still... You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying. That's a plausible hypothesis. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like
the production schedule.
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory, even if he doesn't know what to do with it. I don't know. I assume it's...
Didn't you see one right next? It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage. There's a piece of toilet paper. It's a metaphor. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it. Still wet. The toilet paper peels off. An aluminium block runs the width of the board. Biting. The surface is interrupted by a silver... Looks like an official mark.
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding... It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeit...
Your kill count.
Any capable light with the right... All RCM vehicles have had lights designed to...
This means you can read...
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden... They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches. By sun... Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims... Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are... What do you mean? Is that all? Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Yes, all caps. Others appear more light-hearted. The guy's on a couch in an... You like this grimy... Wish there was one in there about a drug den. You love those. It's going to take an effort to piece these cases. The notebook is annual. It says, judging by the creases on your forehead and the lines of...
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, it's a holdover from the early days of the RCM. Right after the revolution, when the organization had lit... Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one... The man with the holy... I pray his loved ones never... Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a word.
There is, for precisely one more. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down... The lieutenant looks at his... He is not really saying anything.
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
The tasks you've completed flow out. Inspect the... Get the body. Interview the cafet. A satisfying slash sounds... And a fuck you to you... You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry. Things to be done, and things all...
No, actually. Any ideas? Yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. They're not going to get it. Great! That's great! That's actually what... I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself. In the back, you see thin 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, a monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 200. A monetary penalization. These are quite sinister in turn. all in a print so small, a dozen pages of thin color of the irises. Yes, all that remains. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse. It's made of dark blue plastic. Something rattles in and something small inside. The plastic shimmers like there's pain in there. With your hands, you four-sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board. The slides snap without resistance. 2 ticket stubs and 2 octopuses are smiling. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of... It smells of a touch of cinnamon. Familiar handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. Throw it away, please. A merciful wind blows in from the bed.
Let's go.
Frisson covers your entire body. Your hands shake, holding on to it. Every morning every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
There is nothing. Again. Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it. Because it's always there.
Tell him.
Ah, yes. In the olfactory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so. But as it didn't smell nice, it smelled like betrayal.
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape, its lack of beauty was not the problem.
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause. You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
Oh, but you are. They're pouring something on you. Something in you.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil.
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pound.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration. That's just a drug addict myth. In reality, you're still comprised of dihydrogen oxide, which you must replenish to go on living.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened? You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to. 10 minutes, maybe. That does sometimes happen. You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped.
Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. All around you, rain falls on the great city of Rivershore. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is looking up at the sky. Cold water dripping from your grey sky like great battleships. Your shirt sticks to your chest. You're not dressed for this weather. You should get an overcoat or sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs lead the ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on it. The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial urban coastline, rain dripping off each coal city, and your hair is. There's a fleet on the corner. The great gates of the industrial behind the gates. Heaps La Jussienne, King de Couron, the lower mid, a silvery curtain of Capeside apartments. Tower blocks, hallways collapse from the mortar hits, a yard. Rain, a traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the road ascends. A raised motor.
Have a brother in the cut.
To be in Martinez, where no one goes, standing in the rain-swept distance, your vision blurs. You wipe your coalition-era statics hang.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. You should get a raincoat. There's a freight to the east. They sell them there.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start.
The dashboard lights up with like a leopard waking from its. The lights unfold with a little click.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the book. An aluminium block runs the surfaces into. Looks like an official mark.
What? Yes, okay.
While a bunch of sodden. As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet a rat brazenly darts past you and in the middle of a broken plaza in a
Ah, Martinez. Let me see. Right here. No, it does not.
There are many of them, and they are. The first row has 18 dots. Not bad for what? The next is the long. There are so many. The last row. As you look at them, you feel your index finger reflect, and something you'll do again. Before.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the...
Son, here is where...
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth? Yes, that does seem quite likely. This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Wow, more than 200! It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than... Call it what you want.
You know the answer already. The tingle in...
That's right. How did you know? Ah, right. Sometimes the brain's able to... For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is... There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. But it seems as though you are, or at...
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not...
Yes. Everyone has their own method of coping. Personally, I find it helps to keep up... Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now. Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page.